You heard of the Dachigam National Park? It's in this park that one can find this unique animal. One which is facing dwindling numbers, and one that needs all of us to come together and help revive its species. One that is the state animal of Jammu and Kashmir. I am talking about the Kashmiri stag, or Cervus hanglu. This species is the only surviving member of the Asian red deer lineage. And today on the episode of Daily Podcast, we have Mr. Hangul, the ambassador of the Kashmiri stag community. Mr. Hangul, welcome to the Daily Podcast. How is the weather treating you? It's hot, not going to lie. It was a long wait till here for the show. Fair. Even I'm sweating just sitting here. How about we begin a conversation on your fascinating community? How many of you are there? Roughly 289? That's really less. We have been classified as critically endangered in the IUCN Red List, and we are under the Schedule 1 of the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972. Given our numbers, that is pretty much necessary. Yeah. For the viewers who may not know about the Wildlife Protection Act of 1972, you can watch my previous video on that. Coming back, Mr. Hankul, you are technically a subspecies rather than like a species. Yes, we are a subspecies of the Asian red deer, specifically the Tarim red deer or Cervus hanglu. But it was not till 2017 that was known. Like till 2017, we were thought of as a subspecies of a European red deer. However, after some genetic studies happened, it was found out that we are the only surviving member of the Asian red deer lineage, and our name was changed to Cervus hanglu. Where does the name Hangul come from? I mean, the Korean writing script is also called Hangul, but that side, where does this name Hangul come from for you? Hangul. So our community loves to eat this Indian horse chestnut. We are very fond. It's like our favorite food, and in the local language, in the local words, it's called handun, and it is derived hangul is derived from there. We are herbivores and our diet is just grass, herbs, leaves, and barks and twigs. Another sort of connection that there is to our name is our antlers, our large antlers. They are in language called hang, meaning antlers, so hangul hang. uh, In appearance, we have a distinctive white rump patch and beautiful antlers and really small tail. We're also called red deer because of our reddish brown coat, which changes with season. Great. I think antlers makes you really beautiful, really unique in that terms. Uh, what sort of society does your community have? Yeah. What kind of society do your people live in? We are very shy, quiet nature by nature, and you know, mu- female uh, deers uh, will carry their child for about 8 months. Uh, After which the fawns, the babies, they stay with the mother till the next breeding season. Uh, Very similar to elephants, we also have a matriarchal society which follows a female leader, and females can live up to groups of 18. Adult males, however, they live independently. So you live independently. Yeah, Yeah, I do live independently. Okay. What is the habitat of the Hangul? I mentioned in early that you are found in the Dachigam National Park. So, what sort of habitat, what sort of place does your community live in? We are high altitude forest dwellers. Um, in winters, I mean, you're from Kashmir, you should know what kind of winters there are here. We like to stay somewhere 1600 to 2400 meters above, at elevations at heights of 1600 to 2400 meters. In summers, that elevation can go way up to 4000 meter. And however, in recent times, we have been keeping ourselves to smaller areas due to habitat loss, all sorts of things, because of which we are tending to stay in smaller areas, trying to stay away from places that can cause us trouble. We used to uh, span over Dachigam National Park and its nearby areas, Rajparian Wildlife Sanctuary, Overa Aru, Sindh Valley, the forest of Kishtwar and Badarwa. Uh, However, all that area has sort of shrinked, and now we're only spotted in certain protected areas in the Dachigam National Park and the Tral Wildlife Sanctuary. Uh, in 1900s, our population was 5,000, and it went drastically down to 180 in 1968. So if things hadn't been taken care of as soon as possible, I would not have been here talking to you. However, the our numbers have been fluctuating ever since then, but since 2017 there has been a gradual rise. uh and I think there's a lot of reasons behind why our numbers are, you know going down like that. First of all, uh we live in places which we kind of share with predators like snow leopards or Himalayan black bears or dholes and wolves. But they are not one of the major threats that we face. In fact, one of the major threats that we face, and I think every animal in this world at present face, and that's habitat destruction and fragmentation. As more and more human settlements expand, more agricultural activities happen, there is more infrastructure development, you're trying to create roads all through mountains, trying to reach places, explore, but that's causing us a lot of harm just because you want to explore places that are not easy to reach using your resources. I would suggest, instead of using your resource to reach places that are unreachable using those resources, how about you try using our sort of resources? If there's a mountain that doesn't have a full-fledged path for your car to drive, trek. How about you go trekking? How about you use horses? That can be much better instead of creating roads and then destroying our habitat. We also have a lot of limited access to our vital food resources because what we are eating is being taken away by the the livestock of the locals around that area where we find ourselves. And because of that, we don't get what we have to eat to survive. uh I mean, I we had a previous episode with the snow leopard and regarding the snow leopard community, and we saw that the same problem came up, that the snow leopards were actually fighting for their food sources with the humans. Yes, that's a huge problem, which is kind of weird because uh, we are fighting with humans for lots of things. We're fighting for land, we're fighting for food. So it's kind of a problem. And then there is a lot of illegal trade, poaching, you know, because of our antlers, and which which makes it really hard. And as I said, uh, there are people who want to, explore, habitats, uh, places off, that are not easy to reach. Tourism, I understand it's contributing to the economy, but it is causing us a lot of suffering. I'm not saying you don't come here to enjoy. Come here to enjoy, and even come here to see us, but maybe do that in a way that doesn't harm us, that doesn't destroy our habitats, that doesn't disturb our habitats or our feeding or our breeding patterns. uh you know there's a way, there's always a middle ground. And I am pretty sure that with all the big brains that you guys have, you can find that middle ground for us. Uh, there have been efforts by the government uh, to try and preserve our habitat, to ensure that we are not harmed, we are not poached, and tourism doesn't impact us. Uh, and while there are such initiatives, and I just hope that they work. Uh, yeah. What are some of the most what is this one prominent initiative that you can let us you can talk about a little? We have the Project Hangul. It was started in 1970 with the help of the WWF. It was later renamed to Save Kashmir's Red Deer Hangul in 2009. Uh, so, as I said at the beginning of 20th century, our number was 5,000. It went drastically down to 150, 180, and then after a bit of efforts of to protect us, there were a few positive results, and our numbers did grow by a little bit. However, as I said, it's not easy because initiatives alone cannot do a lot. Because one thing that I've seen about you guys is that it's easy for you to create something on paper, but when it comes to do something like on ground, it doesn't really happen. I'm not sure why. I am not a human expert. I have not done any studies in human psychology or human mind or anything like that. So I don't know why. But you often have brilliant ideas on paper, but when it comes to acting on them in real life, the idea and the written thing just does not, they do not match. So I am grateful that there are projects that are helping our community grow, but I don't think they're enough because let's look at the numbers. We're still very, very low in number, and we could e- we could there is only two ways. We could either go up from here if you put more efforts, or we could go down from here and eventually go out of existence. uh, and it's great that we are the state animal of Jammu and Kashmir, but give us more uh, importance than that. Don't just think that, oh, this majestic there is the state animal of Jammu and Kashmir. We are more than that. We are animals. We have lives. We have a habitat. We have we have more than just a tagline of being the state animal. We we are living beings. So, uh, just giving us an important tag, or you know thinking about us, it's not going to help. Maybe a little more effort on ground, not just by authorities but by people on ground in areas where we find ourselves in. If they put a little more effort in trying and helping us out and protecting us, there's definitely going to be positive consequences. And that's what I think. And I feel free to disagree. I have no problem. But this is my opinion as the ambassador of a community that's struggling to survive. I just want to say that you guys can do whatever you want to, but just, make sure that what you're doing does not impact us. Not just us, but many more like us. That's just one thing. And I think that there's a motto in my life that I live by, and that is if I uh, am doing anything, I have to ensure that what I'm doing is not causing harm to someone else. And I know many of you live by this motto, and more of you, if you more of you live by this motto, I think this whole world can be a better place to live. I totally agree with you, Mr. Hangul. Um, doing anything we, all of us, not just humans, but each animal, each living being, plants, everything on earth has a right to do whatever they want to, but it has to come in a way that it does not cause harm to another being, another thing. And I think it's not that hard. I know there are certain things that you really want to do, and you also know that it can really harm someone else, but maybe just a little more self control, or knowing that if it's causing someone else some harm, something another harm, let's not let's try and not do it. Let's find an alternative. As you said, if we as humans, we love exploring, uh, you know places that have not been explored yet. So rather than using our resources, like taking those cars, buses, or trucks or jeeps and going into that area, maybe rather than that, why not try and do something that will be much simpler, maybe go trekking, maybe use a horse or something more simpler for that environment, for the environment that's not used to our sort of resources. I mean, yeah, excellent points that you made here, Mr. Hangul, and it it uh it was really great talking to you, because I think uh it, you know uh sometimes one really needs to stop and think where we are in the world and what our place in the world is connected to something else in the world. And you said we all are connected, and we can be a better place if we start thinking about each other. uh Very philosophical at the end there, but it was amazing talking to you, and I'm pretty sure the heat might be getting on to you. Yes, it's pretty hot. Barely any wind coming out from there. I am really sorry that there is no wind here and that I lack fans in my room, but I think I'll let you go before you get boiled in this heat. But thank you for being here. Thank you very much for bringing me here and letting me speak on such a big platform. Thank you, and I wish your community all the best in the future. As we wrap this episode up, a reminder to subscribe and hit the like button. Until next time, signing off for today.